in the next decade, we're going to be seeing 600 million Africans actively online.
So, Gbenga, despite Africa maintaining high growth rates over the past decade, high unemployment has still been an issue for Africa, and especially youth unemployment.
Right.
So will Africa Going Digital actually help youth unemployment?
Well, you just need to read the McKinsey's report that came out in late 2013 to know that Africa is going somewhere, especially the way the youth are embracing the digital and internet platforms. And we go somewhere. Because the highlight of that report shows that the majority of urban dwellers in Africa own one form or the other of internet-capable devices. And they use it. They go online regularly. And that means that there's going to be a lot of vibrancy in the next few years. And if infrastructure investment continues the way it is right now, then you're going to possibly see that potentially $300 billion will be added to African GDP annually. And with that top up to any developing economy, you're going to be seeing a quantum jump in productivity in many sectors of the economy. And that will put a lot of young people to work, especially because they are now digital ready.
That's great. And what are the key, the drivers of this digital revolution, and what are the transformative effects that we're also seeing in investments now and in the near future? Yeah,
I mean, there are two sides to those questions that you've just asked me. I can readily identify two primary drivers to digital revolution that will take hold on the African continent. The first one is poverty, and the second one is depletion of natural resources. And because of these two major primary drivers, we're going to be witnessing more and more digital and technology-driven businesses in ways to create leverages for sustainable and inclusive innovations. Mind you, innovation is widening all over the world, and Africa is not left behind. So that's the first part of the question you just asked me. But then we're going to begin to see also, as we're seeing now, the transformative effects or the indicators for progress. And that way, we're going to see that, for instance, I can mention one or two examples. In 2013, the Rockefeller Foundation launched what is called Digital Jobs Africa to impact 1 million jobs in 6 countries. But that's just 6 countries. I mean, we're talking about 54 countries in Africa. And many of these countries are already, through their policies and incentives, creating their own dynamic innovation ecosystems, which is allowing a lot of businesses, more and more businesses, to encourage startups to forge regional partnerships so that 3G and 4G telephone networks is expanding. But more importantly, putting mobile wallets in the hands of the rural poor. And because of that, you are going to begin to see more and more financial inclusiveness of people and bigger impacts in education, in health, and online retail business. Farmers are beginning to have access to expertise, and government can run with some degree of transparency because of e-governance. So these are all transformative effects that you can see and point to as what's taking place in Africa today.
And it seems that there's so many doors that are now opening and so many opportunities that are being created. So can you talk us through to our viewers the online digital emerging transformations that we're seeing in Africa at the moment?
Like every emerging markets in the world today, out of 1 billion people living in Africa, we have about 170 million internet users. We have maybe 70 million smartphones in Africa today. In Nigeria alone, there are actually 70 million active internet users. And Africa has over 50 million Facebook users. And if going by the reports that is being generated through the World Bank and every other platform, in the next decade, we're going to be seeing 600 million Africans actively online. We're going to be seeing 360 million smartphones being used all across the continent. We're going to be looking at internet penetration going to 50% as against 16% that we have right now. We're going to be looking at how the contribution of internet to GDP in Africa right now, which is just 1.1%, going to 5 to 6%, if not 10%, comparable to what obtains in Sweden and Taiwan and the United Kingdom. You don't want to take that kind of market for granted. So these are the kind of things that the broader picture that should attract more and more investors, where there are young people who are becoming more and more minded with the digital revolution, and they can just make the most of it in many parts of Africa. 40% of Kenya's GDP comes from mobile transactions today through the M-Pesa. And this has been replicated, or is being replicated, from Cape Town to Cairo. So you want to see that this is not a market to be ignored. You watch out.
Well, Gbenga, thank you so much for coming in once again and sharing your insights with us.
It's my pleasure, Jessica.
Well, that's all from us once again, but for all the latest Dukascopy updates and exclusive market moves, do keep clicking back. Goodbye for now.